God damn, outside full of bees. Actually, no, it's full of insects. But we're not gonna talk about insects today. We're gonna talk about a movie that people hated. So, anyways, hello everyone. Agent from Agent's Funniest Moments here, and I decided to do this little talk video outside because it's like a nice sunny day, and I kind of want to do this more appropriately. So, yeah. So I think you probably saw what happened yesterday with with Ava 2, which Ava 2 was the most anticipated sequel of probably a while. And Peppa Pig the Movie 4 was also coming out, but yeah. I'm gonna give you all a little backstory about Ava 2 before we talk about why people hate it. So I was kind of thinking about doing an Ava 2 since 2022, back when the company was thriving, and I had this Ava 2 idea for a really long time, and I cannot get it out of my head. So I bet probably like the most appropriate way to do so is to just give it a chance or something. But I would not think about doing Ava 2 for a really long time until around 2024, when I officially announced that Ava 2 was happening. Now, production on Ava 2 was very complicated because of the Adrian Disney deal not working out, and they couldn't reach a new deal, so our very last movie together was Lilo and Stitch 4, Stitch or Bust. And if you count Adrian's Legacy, that would technically be the last movie, but it would not really work that way. But anywho, yeah, we just officially, Disney now likes me again, because they let me use the logo now, so good job, Disney, good job. But that's not what we're talking about. Production on Ava 2 was a very big, challenging, complicated story. I kind of wanted to change a few things a bit, add a longer runtime, and, just make it good, but sometimes we don't get nice things, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Now, anywho, Ava 2 was supposed to release around 2023, but I kind of want to take it out from the long haul and change it to 2025. So yeah, Ava 2's production lasted throughout during the holiday season of 2024. And when the public found out I was doing an Ava 2, they were very excited because they have not seen any piece of Ava media in like 4 years. So this was the very appropriate opportunity to bring Ava back for the new generation. Well, let's just say that turned out to be a very shitty idea, and also a very bad decision. Anyways, now Phase 5 was off to a great start with Maniac McGee, because people consider my Maniac McGee movie to be the best Adrian movie in a long time. Like the last time I ever made something peak was Peppa Pig the Movie 3 back in 2023. And yeah, and throughout, like, almost every single movie from Phase 4 was awful. Like, Stewart 2, bad. Ron Scar Run Free, bad. Portodo, okay. Adrian's Legacy, okay. Even though it's meant to be an anniversary concert film, but nobody gave a shit and nobody even knew that this was coming, so yeah. It kind of failed. And I'm not really going to mention the other films that came out in 2024 because nobody would really care about them, but there was the Mr. Peanut movie, which was stuck in developmental hell since 2021, but finally got to see the light of day. Godzilla vs. Evil Elmo. And then there was My Roommate Bigfoot, which is a completely original film, and people liked it. They said it was okay-ish, like KD, he said that it was okay-ish. But then there was the Toy Zone, but then a few weeks later, the Toy Zone movie came to the scene, and people enjoyed, and even though people enjoyed it and it got 1,000 views, the premiere of the film, the movie led to an extreme huge fight between KD and Mark the Crab, as they disputed about how bad the post-credit scene was, and they were being crazy over it. So yeah, technically, if you call the Toy Zone movie a disaster, then technically that would be true, but hence the point. And then after that, there was the Adrian movie 3, which was the most anticipated film of the year because people have not seen Adrian and the gang in forever, so yeah. But then I didn't like the Adrian movie 3. And the public said it was okay-ish, but yeah. So everyone has their fingers crossed that the final film, the Adrian movie 4, will be a cinematic masterpiece. hopefully, because I actually really loved it as well. So yeah, I'm sure you will enjoy the Age of Movie 4 as well. But yeah, that was basically it. And yeah, so after Maniac McGee, I released the very unnecessary Peppa Pig the Movie 4, which, even though Peppa Pig the Movie 4 was pretty unnecessary, people still enjoyed it, which is kind of interesting, but hence the point. But, I mean, Peppa Pig the Movie 4 was awful, I'm telling you, bro. But, yeah, even though the third movie was supposed to be the last movie, according to all my fans, I decided to make a fourth movie because company want money. So yeah, the movie came out on February 15th, and let's just say that it was bad. Really bad. People were extremely disappointed about how bad Peppa Pig the Movie 4 was because it contained a lot of weird Toy Zone jokes. Like, the movie took a few notes from Toy Zone with its humor and its jokes. Like, there's so much weird references to content that not that the Peppa Pig's target audience would not want to witness here, but yeah. However, in terms of views, Peppa Pig the Movie 4 became a success in terms of views. So yeah, after that cinematic disaster of Peppa 4, it was time for us to put a rest to Peppa Pig. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, what about Ava 2? Well, Ava 2 got so much anticipation because we haven't seen Ava in forever, like I said earlier. But however, the release of the movie was starting to get complicated, and there was a big reason for that. The main reason why the release for Ava 2 was starting to get complicated is because that movie would come out on the exact same day as the Press Dolphins fans' Rams movie. And Rams was released on the same day, March 8th. So on March 8th, 2025, we decided to declare it a holiday titled National Battle of the Movies Day, or Ram Ava 2 Day, or just Ram Ava for short. And it was a battle between which two movies will win the battle in terms of how much people will enjoy it. And box office technically also counts too. But then March 8th finally came, and Ava 2 was ready to be released to the world at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But little did anyone know that every single person, everyone who watched Ava 2, little did they know that they would be witnessing garbage. Anyways, when the movie started, it was very packed. The premiere was pretty packed with Ava fanboys. Knowing that Disney and Ava Drew Movies Inc. are back together again, we know this movie's going to be great. However, when the movie, around the first 10 minutes, things were going pretty normal. People said it was decent and all. But then around the 28-minute mark, this is where things started to get downhill very quickly. People were literally criticizing the film for it being a Inside Out 2 ripoff. And they also said that movie had a bunch of weird jokes about EDP 445 and stuff like that. And there was way too much breaking fourth wall, pop culture jokes. It was all bad. Now, there were a few things that people liked about the film, like the opening scene where they acknowledged the film's backstory around the first movie's backstory, and all that crap. But yeah, and the new characters were very unlikable, and people considered Mrs. Stinkbug to be the worst character I've ever drawn in history. Like, Mrs. Stinkbug was so weird and bad and annoying. And the party scene was just nothing to bear into, and the movie was extremely confusing as hell. However, when the movie ended, things got worse very quickly. People were making live comments in the live chat that they have to write an emotional apology letter to Peppa Pig the Movie 4, as there was a new king in town for being the worst film of the year. Ava 2 was considered to be the most hated AFM movie of all time. Well, that is not a Stewart film, obviously. Anyways, in terms of views, the views in the movie were actually really good. The film managed to get 300 views in 19 hours. Well, that is good for what people say. However, that is good, but as for what people say about the movie, let's just say that it's terrible. Critics and basically all fans on my channel absolutely called it a dog shit. People were hating on the film. I'm dead serious. Go check the live chat of Ava 2. It was awful for like the first 28, it was not awful for like the first 10 minutes, but after around like 25 minutes or so, things got bad very quickly. I'm serious, bro. The story was extremely confusing. The style was extremely bad. The runtime was very unappealing. All the characters have zero personality. They lost all brain cells. They basically lost all personality from the first movie. All the characters literally had all the characters were a bunch of weird pedo boys or something like that. Like there was literally a bunch of EDP and pedophile child predator jokes. Like what the actual hell? And there was also a petition to make this movie good, but it turned out to be a cinematic disaster. Oh my god, I'm talking so much. And oh yeah, and we also cannot forget the other bad things about the movie, like like what was it again? Oh yeah. The story was terrible. It was extremely confusing. The characters had lost all their brain cells. The music is very cringy. The paper characters are literally old AF. They literally have nothing to do with themselves. Nobody even tried. Nobody even did anything to make this film fantastic. It was just and it got approved for a PG rating. For some reason, I don't know why. Like, the film could have gotten a PG-13 rating if it wasn't for if it wasn't for the pedo jokes, the film would have been very PG, but there were pedo jokes, and now the movie is probably aiming for a PG-13 rating, which obviously didn't happen because it's Disney, duh. This makes Ava 2 the first AFM movie in history to ever have this much hate. Yeah, that. Anywho, yeah. And as for Rams, despite the views on the Rams movie being terrible, critics actually praised it. So yeah, you can probably guess who won the fight. Ava 2 won the battle. No, not Ava 2. Ava 2 lost big time. Rams won the battle very efficiently, as it was the first movie in cinema history to ever reach $1 billion in a single day. It's mostly because of Ava 2's failure, and people were just left the theater to go see Rams instead of a cheap Inside Out 2 knockoff with Ava characters. So yeah, now that Ava 2 has officially become the most hated AFM movie since Stewart 2, now I'm going to be talking about the 3 reasons why Ava 2 was extremely hated and what's next for the franchise. So, why did Ava 2 get so much hate? Well, that's a very easy explanation. So yeah, first of all, it's the pedo jokes. The pedo jokes were extremely unappealing, and there was even a Skibbity toilet reference at one point. The film was full of brain rot jokes and nothing to add to the story. It was very unappealing. Number 2 is the very crappy marketing. There was literally zero marketing for the movie except for that clip that was uploaded. Like, there was nothing. Nothing. I'm telling you, there was nothing. And considering that, and the clip that released, but just like a few weeks before the movie came out, that clip came out, people were having speculation that the movie would be a IS-2 knockoff. And the rumors turned out to be extremely true. Very true. And 3 is basically everything else. Like people loved the first film, people hated the second film. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say about Ava 2, about why it was extremely hated. Like Katie once said, quote, Every Age of Femme movie gets worse and worse every passing movie nowadays. And then Maniac McGee came out and then they saved the studio. But then PPTM4 and then Ava 2 came out and then they both fucked up the entire studio. So now Asian movies Inc. is dying, all thanks to Ava. Big shout out to Ava for making the studio about to get bankrupt. We about to get bankrupt. Good job, Ava. And as for how much money that we lost when Ava 2 came out, the Asian Movies Inc. managed to lose around $317 million after that cinematic disaster from Ava 2. And also $125 million from PPTM4. And as for how much money the movie made at the box office, it was very unsettling. There were rumors of the film making about $100 million ahead of its DVD release. However, that was extremely, very, very bad, as the film only made around $15 million on its opening weekend. And because of that, the movie's gonna probably leave theaters like 2 weeks early, and it's all Rams' fault. So now that we talked about why Ava 2 was so bad, what's next for the franchise? Is there gonna be an Ava 3? Well, unfortunately, yes. Ava 3 is happening. Like, that's literally what I said in a previous Adrian Direct. So Ava 3 is officially coming soon next year in March of 2026. And I know you guys and people used to be excited for Ava 3, but after watching Ava 2, the hype for the film was starting to decrease. They weren't ready to get back to the big screen with Ava. So, I'll try to have my fingers crossed to make Ava 3 the best out of the 3 movies. And I got an idea for that to happen. Create a new story. New story. Yes, a new story. Like, instead of a really stupid, generic, weird, pedo joke-filled movie, let's add something very appealing to make the movie less to make Ava 3 less garbage. Like, I'm probably add a story. Like, I've already started thinking about what Ava 3 was gonna be about. Ava 3 will probably be about Ava going through puberty, and she's about to be turning 13 years old soon, and knowing that she's entering her puberty stage. And that's why she's pretty much going through a midlife crisis throughout Ava 3. And during her midlife crisis, she decides to make a contract with Bubble Boy, who formerly made a contract with the policeman and fries over around the time the first movie was filmed. And then, yeah. However, that contract sends him into an extremely weird parallel alternative universe where Ava never existed and she was just a baby. So that means Potato and Donnie never met, where Potato and Donnie have never met each other in their lives, not even Pigeon. And none of the characters never knew who she was. She was declared the mysterious girl in this alternative universe. And we'll try to make the final battle scene more exciting, because the Ava 2 final battle scene was very dead and cringe. So for Ava 3, the final battle will be a bit more exciting. Only maybe in 2026, and maybe when I finish production on Ava 3, maybe they can give Ava another chance to become good. So now that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say about why Ava 2 was so bad and what Ava 3 is going to possibly be about. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye. Don't watch Ava 2. I'm serious. It's so bad.